There we go. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Pigskin Panel. I'm your host, AJ, and as always, every episode, I'm here with my three brothers. We have Mr. Braggino to my top right, Mr. Mikey Sharp on the bottom right, and then we have Cody Maguire looking all fresh there. What's going on, fellas? What's happening, my brothers?
Not a whole lot.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. It's Dr. Evil in the bottom right-hand corner. My bad.
Adam Rank. It's Adam Rank.
Adam Rank. All right, well, we might have to get your predictions soon, too. Well, fellas, football is here. Week 1 is completed. Man, some things happened, man. Some things changed. By the way, guys, before we start off here, both my neighborhood, we're having severe thunderstorms. You guys are having thunderstorms there in Strathroy, so if we do go off, it is what it is. But anyways, thank you guys for always tuning in and checking in with the Pigskin Panel. We truly do appreciate you guys coming out. I know we do every other week, so we do appreciate you guys still tuning in to check out and see what we have to say about football. As you guys all know, we're 4 best friends, and we love to talk about the game of football, so we decided to make this channel to share our experiences with you and open up that floodgate and see how we chirp each other, laugh with each other, and just talk about the good old game of football. So you're probably going to be seeing some church today because to kick it off, we have yesterday's game of Monday Night Football, and Cody's team, the Baltimore Ravens, took on one of my team's rivals, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Raiders home opener with a crowd finally with their new stadium and the new relocation, and it was arguably one of the wildest games I think I've ever watched in football history. First going to overtime, and then a touchdown that got called back, and then you couldn't punch it in at the 1 yard line, and then an interception happened and a fumble. It was just literally the wildest game. If you haven't checked it out, go on YouTube. We don't want to get copyright infringement or else we would post it, but just watch the highlights of it. It's crazy, but I want to give the floor to my main man, Cody, to give his gut reaction on just the Ravens, because there's quite concerns with the guys like Rashad Bateman going out. You guys are running game with, J.K. Dobbins going out and everybody like that. And then now we know that Marcus Peters is out too, Gus Edwards. So, the team's in shambles. They did look good. However, it was pretty much of a big disappointment, especially losing to a team like the Vegas Raiders. But, Cody, I'm going to give you the floor, man. Give us your gut reaction on yesterday's game.
Yeah, the injuries definitely have caught up with us. Actually, to start off, Tyree Phillips is also now on IR. So I believe we have 14 players on IR, which is absurd. Yeah, some of the stuff that happened last night, like Williams, he looked so good in the first half. Second half, completely got away from him, didn't even use him, which made no sense to me. And then in the overtime, I have a stat here for you. So we called, on that Zay Jones touchdown, we called a 0 blitz, meaning 8 rushing the quarterback. In the next gen stats era, that has been done 1 time ever in overtime. So explain to me why that play makes any sense to begin with. Lamar Jackson was pressured on 54% of his dropbacks. So every other play, he was basically running for his life. The line was awful, and now we just lost Tyree Phillips, so it's going to be even worse. So I don't even know what to say or what to take away from this game. I really don't. I thought we were going to win. I did think we were going to win, and I did think that the Raiders were going to put up points. Didn't think they put up 33. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, were you surprised, especially with the Raiders' offense? Having guys like Henry Ruggs, Josh Jacobs, that they targeted Darren Waller that many times against your defense with guys like Marlon Humphrey and stuff like that, and of course you guys are doubling them. I think he had 30 something targets.
No, he had 19 targets.
Oh, so well, it seemed like it was 30.
Yeah, he's on pace for 323 targets this year.
That's crazy. And it's weird, man, because you guys were doing really, really well against, especially doubling it. Really didn't give it any type of other choice, really, other than Josh Jacobs tearing you guys up a little bit there. But, in terms of the Ravens here, Cody, man, like, coming from this game, seeing the injuries now, what do you think Lamar has to do now to piggyback you guys? Is it where you've seen enough from him? Because, and as much as I'll let Joel talk after, as much as we rip on him about passing, his passing game looked decent. Considering Sammy Watkins too, he looked pretty solid too. Mark Andrews, but like, do you think now Lamar, even with the injury bug here, that he has enough what it takes to actually carry the team potentially to a wild card spot? Or what do you think?
If the O-line plays like it did last night, there's no shot we're making the playoffs. Like 0%. We got absolutely killed by the Raiders pass rush. It was, like I said, 54% of the dropbacks he was pressured. Literally every other play. Like, how are you supposed to play? How are you supposed to? And he did have 2 costly fumbles, completely his fault, especially the one in the overtime. Can't be doing that, especially when we're gifted a win by the Raiders. They basically tried to lose that game, and we still lost. But yeah, I mean, he can't be fumbling like that in costly situations. He did the same thing against the Bills in the playoffs. So I don't know. Like, let the line, it's up to the line playing better and Lamar playing better, and that's gonna determine how well this team plays or how far they can go, in my opinion. Because if the line plays like they did last night, no shot. We are
you guys looking at number 1 pick? Looking at the number 1 overall pick?
I don't think it'll be that bad. But that was not good, dude. And it was weird because we played pretty well in the first half. Lamar played well. He had that nice touchdown to Marquise where he dodged 2 guys and then threw it into the back of the end zone. And then Williams played great in the first half, and then we just didn't use him. And I don't know what happened at halftime. It was just, it went from up here to just took a nosedive, and I don't know.
Tough season ahead. But big shout out again to one of our super fans here, my man Braden. He says, "Rit-dee-dee-dee-doo." And with saying that, I want to give the floor to Joel, man. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, the Ravens played really well in the first half. Like, it looked like old Ravens, like Ravens of last year, where they move the ball efficiently, Lamar's running, and the offense is clicking. Hollywood was involved in a lot in the first half. He had a couple really nice catches, and you're just sitting there going, "Oh, here we go again," because Derek Carr couldn't get going. Vegas really couldn't get going in the first half at all. But then here comes the second half. Everything changes. I mean, if I had Bruce Buffer introducing me like that, I'd be bouncing off walls, man. Like, what an intro. That was an awesome intro. I just want to break that down real quick. So you got Aoki on DJing, wearing Raiders gear and a Raiders helmet, just absolutely lit on life. It was a good time. But the second half comes. Everything changed. The Raiders could run the ball a little bit. The only big run they had in the first half was that Mariota keeper. I think that was for a 31 or 32 yarder.
Yeah, RPO, right?
Yeah. And other than that, you didn't really see much from Baltimore. I was talking about Lamar and his ball security issues in our group chat today. And as much as people might disagree with that, like, if you're gonna play 47 games and have 36 fumbles, I know all of them aren't lost. I think, what is it, Cody? 22 of them are lost out of that now because he lost 2 last night.
I think he was at 18, so I think he has 20 now. 20.
It's still, anytime the ball touches the ground, it's a 50-50 chance that you get it back. It's a lost play, and it's pretty much a guarantee that you're losing yards. So it's like a scratch play. Those plays can change a game just like that. Momentum changes, and the Raiders started picking up a little bit. They get that one in overtime, and it's game over at that point. I don't know why the Ravens blitz the house on that play. Jones was wide open.
Yeah, not even too open, really.
It's just kind of a head-scratching play, but the turnovers for Lamar, in my opinion, were the reason why they lost that game. Mind you, Lamar is the reason why they win a lot of games. So it's bound to happen that you lose a tough one here and there. But those fumbles are game-changing plays that give momentum to the other team in good field position. Almost probably 75% chance you're going to get at least a field goal out of that. And you just can't have that in tight games, especially when you're on the road. You don't got the fans to pump you up, give you a little extra zing. You know what I mean? So it hurts. But I feel for the Ravens in this situation. Do I like to see them lose? Of course, I always love to see the Ravens lose. But that's just the way it is. Miami's going to lose lots of games this year, and I'm sure Tua's going to have a couple stinkers, and I'll be hearing about him then. But while Lamar has a stinker week 1 in a division where every win counts, thank God the Browns played the Chiefs, and the Browns took the L right off the start. Pittsburgh, they honestly got a little lucky against Buffalo. They got a little lucky against Buffalo, and Buffalo couldn't really get it going too much. Buffalo doesn't have a run game either, but either way, Pittsburgh gets the win, and the Bengals get the win in overtime against the Vikings in a very close game too. And I don't see the Bengals winning maybe 7-8 games. Maybe we'll put them right around there if they stay healthy. I think the Ravens have a shot at the wild card, and I do wish them the best. Obviously, clearly not a fan, but I do wish them the best.
Yeah, the division is definitely open after week 1. That's for sure. Especially as we all alluded to, like we decided, like we all thought that this would be one of the toughest divisions of football. So yeah, having the Browns lose a gut wrench game, and then of course even a game where the Bengals go to OT with the Vikings, that definitely opens the division up a little bit more and kind of gives it a little bit more breathing room, especially with 17 games, right? But Dr. Evil, man, you look like you had some things conjuring up in that here and there.
No, I honestly can't say much. I only watched half, and the Ravens looked good. So obviously something else went wrong, but I can't talk too much about the game. But the only thing I will say is obviously the fumbles need to be cleaned up. He knows that. Everyone knows that. Look at Daniel Jones. If he doesn't clean it up, he might be gone. He doesn't have the leash that Lamar has.
Yeah.
But, that's a big problem with quarterbacks. If you can't hold on to the ball, it's going to be trouble. And, other teams know that too.
Yeah.
That's
exactly it. If you have a history of putting the ball on the ground, guys are going to come in swinging, doing punch techniques. There's all kinds of different techniques to try to get that ball out of there. And you might see every single one of them on any given Sunday. You feel, like I said, you feel for Lamar. It's a tough situation, but if you're going to be, he is running a lot, so it's understandable that his fumble numbers are higher. But you can't have
that's what I'm thinking. Maybe the transition from throwing to running, tucking the ball, maybe he needs to get better at.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The one positive I took from the game, and there wasn't many, was Lamar actually did look like he was his passing was a little bit better. He made some throws that I usually don't see him make, so that was encouraging. But I don't think it's going to matter if this O-line plays this bad, so we'll see. We got to play the Chiefs next week, so it's going to be ugly.
Oof. Yeah, that's tough with all those injuries. Yeah. Are you going to be watching that one, Cody? Or is that when you're checking the score at half and then maybe joining in?
It's the night game, so yeah, I'll be watching. But we'll see. I'm not too optimistic after last night, but we'll see.
100%. And then one of the other shots coming out of it is my boys, the Denver Broncos. Even though it's the Giants, man, wow. Teddy Bridgewater definitely impressed the living shit out of me. His name is Steady Teddy. I expected him to just, mediocre, do a high completion, low yards, maybe a touchdown. But I didn't expect him to come out balling like the way he did, And his stat line could have been 300 plus yards too. KJ Hamler dropped a 63-yard touchdown in the end zone in the breadbasket. So he could have been finished off with 325, 3 touchdowns, a 70% completion rate. And man, like I you know, it's come for me. I just hate to say it, sound biased, but man, we look really, really tough. You know, Judy going out, that hurts big time. But I guess the X-rays did come back that it is negative, so he's going to be only out for 4 weeks. But they look like the doctor said that not the doctor, sorry, the medical team said they're going to hold him out for 6, just because they don't want to rush him back. But man, boys, we look like we could contend definitely for a wild card spot, and thank God, man. Like, holy, have we ever been waiting for this and a competent quarterback? Because I think this defense really can bring us there, almost kind of like 2015-ish. How, you know, Peyton really didn't have the greatest season at all, but a defense really did carry us there. And you know, Vaughn coming back is, man, just to see Vaughn back on the field tearing it up, man. Like, I was like a kid, like. But did you guys watch any of the Broncos game at all and the Giants?
I didn't get it.
Yeah,
What?
No.
I don't think it was on TV.
I watched a lot of games this week because I watched a lot of Red Zone because the Ravens played on Monday night. So I watched a lot of games that I normally wouldn't have really watched.
Braden, so I believe now with the new rules, I think it's 4 games he has to be out. Because I think that's like the new rules or something like that. They brought over from the COVID season.
I think it's actually 3 games. I think you can go on IR for 3 games.
Is it 3 games? I knew it was a lot shorter than what it used to be.
Yeah. I thought I watched a little bit of the game. I'm not gonna say I watched the whole game, but I watched a good amount of it actually because I was interested if Teddy was gonna play well or not. And that touchdown, particularly to I can't say his name, but you know
Albert Okwuegbunam. Yeah, I got you.
That was great. That was all Teddy. Like, he had no business scoring that touchdown, and he did a good job to get it.
Yeah, that stiff arm to the corner on the cornerback blitz, and then be able to keep his poise and still deliver a strike. I'm super pumped. Again, it is the Giants. The Giants do have a really nice front seven. So I'm really interested to see against a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars next week, especially them coming back, you know, from T-Law having his first game, you know, 3 picks, 3 TDs, to see how they adjust and see if maybe, you know, we can maybe put a little bit more of a thrashing on. So yeah, I'm super excited about the Broncos. And I'm saying right here, we're a playoff spot. Lock it in. Hot take AJ of this episode. So definitely we're a playoff spot.
The one thing I know,
and I'm saying we're beating the Chiefs in Denver. And I'll say that right now.
The one thing I did notice about Denver, when I watched the game at least, the O-line did not look very good. That was the one part about the team that I didn't think was very impressive. Everything else looked good, but the O-line was a little bit, at least I thought.
The one is Graham Glasgow. I think he actually might be out for the season. He got diagnosed with a irregular heartbeat or something like that he actually might have to be out. But Lloyd Cushenberry, I must say, looked awfully impressive. And then my boy Garrett Bowles, big shout out to the big monster. Again, not a single sack. And not actually QB pressure off the left-hand side too. So, and no penalties, man. If he doesn't go 2 years out a holding penalty, man, I think I might get blackout, man. I mean, I think that's any Devers fans like saving grace if he can do it. But yeah, we have a terrifying injury that just came out. As Brandon would say, Raheem Mostert out for the year. Like, what is up with this guy, man? Like, this is so crazy because he is actually so good, and he's arguably one of the fastest players in the NFL. He would give you, like, for instance, fantasy prospects. He'll give you 3 weeks where he will single-handedly win you those 3 weeks and then out for the season. Like, it's absolutely insane.
He's too fast for his own good, I guess. Keeps running out of his hamstring.
They're not even there. These are major injuries that he gets too. Like, I don't know what it is he's doing or his conditioning, or maybe it's just bad luck, but it's unbelievable the rate that guy gets hurt and like the extent of the injuries, like the severity. It's crazy.
That guy is completely off my draft board now.
No,
I'm not touching him.
You want to hear something this is awful? So in my fantasy league with my dad's league, what we do is we have these things called unrestricted free agents. So they're the last 3 picks basically of our league. And what we do is we have like a little game with it. We have like this agent where you roll dice, and you have to pay for these unrestricted free agents. And you have to pay for them no matter what type of thing. So there was a one where I think if you like roll a 3, as like an auction bid. So like the bid started at $5, and my dad picked Raheem Mostert to start the bid or whatever. So he bet $5. You know, people going up, and went all the way to $20 that my dad had to pay for Raheem Mostert. Week 1 out for the season. Like absolutely a gong show. What's that?
Like real money then? $20.
Yeah, like real, like $20. Because what we do is with those three picks for each team, we put them in the pot. I believe this year we have it as a bonus for whoever has the most points at week 7, I think it is, gets whatever that money was.
Oh,
so he's not winning.
So he's not winning.
Well, he still could win, like depending on who. So no, I'm talking about this the week that play, right? So like he can still have like a game where he's 200 points and wins that week type of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not for that player. No. Yeah, that'd be atrocious. See you later.
Yeah, just wiping your ass with a 20.
Yeah, and then speaking of atrocious, man, I do think we have to talk about this. Is pretty much one of the things I'm pissed off about it because it was one of my first overall picks, man. But the travesty that happened in Green Bay, like what in the absolute world happened? And, I'm a guy that took Aaron Jones in my first round pick in my fantasy, and I'm on the road back from Pittsburgh, and I get home and I check the score, and 6 rushing yards total, and then them getting absolutely blown out. Like I couldn't watch the game, but I'm just looking at the stat sheet, like what in the absolute hell.
Bro, my quarterback is Rodgers. He gave me a solid like 1.52 fantasy points. I checked my fantasy and it was at halftime. I didn't even look at the Green Bay score or anything. I'm like refreshing the page because I think it's down.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like I think we got crashed.
Like ESPN, Rodgers, what's going on here, man?
ESPN got crashed. I'm like, what's going on here? And I go check the score app and I'm like, this guy has 100 yards in the third quarter. Like, what is going on? I think he finished with like 145 and then got pulled. I was like, what is going on?
And the craziest thing is that Jordan Love came in, I think, put up close to his numbers for the whole game, like in one quarter.
Yeah.
Like
he took him down to the red zone. I know that for sure.
Well, that's what happens when ego gets in the way of football preparation.
Are we seeing a Favre Rodgers? Are we seeing a Favre Rodgers switch coming on over here? Does Rodgers start next game?
I wonder if he's doing this. Yeah, I wonder if he's doing this on purpose so he'll just leave. Because that was a pathetic performance.
It looks like he looks like a Survivor man. He looks like he's on Survivor or something. Like what's going on with the bandana? Hasn't had a haircut in a year.
Like, yeah, it legitimately seems like he's just gonna go through the motions this year and just be like, all right, see ya.
Yeah, he's gonna absolutely kill the Lions on Monday night though in Green Bay.
Yeah, that's true.
You can guarantee that.
That team stinks.
But maybe that's what he needs, just a little spark, and off you go.
Yeah.
Because he is probably the second best quarterback in the league.
I said this a couple of times, but the play calling. I watched a bit of that game too because I was pretty invested in Winston. It was a joke. Aaron Jones touched the ball 7 times, and they lost by 35.
Yeah. Like at least give him some screens or something. You got to use them somehow.
Like your quarterback's having a bad game. Get him involved. Throw him a screen pass. Throw him a bubble screen. He's like, it made no sense. You got A-Rod going out there throwing guys 15 yards off his target. Like, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was bad. I seen the second half. I was like, oh, my God. I had to change it. It was ugly. It reminded me of old Dolphins games.
And speaking of Jameis, 5 touchdowns.
I was gonna say, Cody, get up on here, man. the Messiahs came.
So
the picks will come.
I actually saw another stat. There was like I don't remember how many times a quarterback's thrown for 500 or 5 touchdowns in a game. It's like something like 200 times since the NFL started. And the one knock you have to put on Winston is I'm pretty sure that was the least amount of yards that anyone's ever had with 5 touchdowns. He had like 150 yards. So it's kind of
160,
like how often that will happen is a little remains to be seen. But he played well. He didn't make any mistakes, although he did get away with one I thought was ridiculous penalty that kind of got him out of a pick. But other than that, he played pretty well.
That was a roughing the passer one, right?
I think it was a PI. I saw like I think it was a PI. I can't remember now, but yeah, he got bailed out by a penalty.
Yeah, but hey, Cody, you can at least beat your chest that you said that Jameis Winston's going to come in and start throwing some cheaters. So
yeah, we'll see. He could throw 6 picks next game. So I'll see if it's like a consistent thing or what. But
Yeah.
But that was one thing I was like really impressed by Jameis too, is just because it is Green Bay's defense. You know, they have studs at corner, studs at safety, and stuff like that. So I was really shocked to see him still put up 5 touchdowns, even if it was 160 yards.
It was a roughing the passer. It was Zadarius Smith. He came in and just played. He's just playing foot. He got penalized for playing football. It was a ridiculous penalty.
And yeah, can we talk about that, man? The penalties, man, I think is good. Like the taunting penalties is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever seen in NFL. Like it, I don't even know, and like you can't even have any energy into the game anymore. You can't have any passion in the game. Like you can have a sack, like, and it's getting in front of someone's guy's face, and it's 15 yards. Like you shouldn't even got the sack then. Like it's getting this utterly ridiculous. Like are we seeing? Are we going to see the things what happened with the celebration dances too, where it might get a little bit too much? Like, what do you guys think?
Well, you can still celebrate a sack. You just can't do it right in buddy's face.
I mean, it's the heat of the moment, though, man. Like, how do you really judge that?
Well,
it's kind of hard. It's kind of like, well, I guess there's like the guys when the guy's down and the receiver walks over the corner or whatever. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, it's always a fine line because the corners and wide receivers are always in each other's face, and there's never penalties. But it's always like a pass rusher or something that gets the penalty. It's like, how can one be and one not be a penalty?
It's kind of like the holding debate. Really, you could call 9 out of 10 linemen for holding on any given play. Like, really, it's just something that happens. This is whether it gets called or not. So, like, for me, with like a PI penalty, unless it's just blatant to the point where they're being, just ridiculous about it, just let them play. Half of these PI penalties are a joke.
Yeah, that was like last night. Last night with that, I think it was Edwards got a PI play, and he didn't even
he wasn't even
see the guy.
He ran into a guy that he wasn't even looking at and got PI'd. Like it was like that was against my own team. Like I thought it was ridiculous. Crazy.
Yeah.
And then we have another fan, our brother Josh Payne. He says, boring.
What's up, dude?
Taunting to a degree needs to be part of all sports, in my honest opinion. And Josh, I do agree with you, especially in high intensity games. Like think about it like yesterday's game against the Ravens and Raiders. Imagine if the Raiders get that pick. I mean, the Ravens get that pick, and all of a sudden they get a flag for a taunting penalty because they're like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, excessive. Because that could just change the whole game. You know what I mean? Or even like, say for instance, if my man Zay Jones, when he's doing the flick before the end zone, and taunting, like that could just change the whole game depending on the referee. Like I just think that is just ridiculous that at such a subjective type of rule can really just flat out change the whole game. And I think that's just brutal.
That leads us into Sharp's team, the Cowboys. There's a huge debate on whether that was a PI or not. I didn't really think it was, but a ton of people did think it was. It's like, why can't you just make a rule that everyone can, you know what I mean? This is PI and this isn't PI. It's so wishy-washy.
Yeah, speaking of that, let's hear your opinion on that game, Sharp.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to say that lost the game for us because the kicker did. If the kicker made A, the point after that you should make, and B, the field goal that was a point after, basically. There's 4 points right there that wins you the game. But, yeah, I mean, it's a borderline call. Like, is it PI? Is it not PI? I mean, I thought it was. Maybe it's a little biased, probably. But it didn't get called, so you can't dwell on it. You'll get all the other stupid Cowboys fans that's going to blame that for the loss. The kicker is the guy that lost you the game.
Yeah,
we easily could. Like, I didn't think the game was going to be that close, but we made it a game. Like, Dak Prescott, my God, his
top 5 quarterback.
Shoulder's fine. Ankle still scares me when he runs, but that seems fine. He's not a concern at all this year. Zeke, you're a concern. O-line, that's might be an issue. But like everything, like defense looked better. I mean, to play one of the best offenses in the league, and I mean Anthony Brown got absolutely torched, but that's kind of expected. He kind of stinks. But I don't know.
I think a lot of teams gonna have that problem with Tampa Bay, though, man. Like,
yeah. It's
what
just
do you do?
Anthony Brown's like a nickel corner, and he's playing the outside. It doesn't really help. But I mean, I thought we looked pretty good. Like, it's encouraging to watch to play a team like that.
Yeah,
but
Super Bowl champion, man. Like,
it was a winnable game. Like we should have won it, really. But Zierlein kind of just stunk.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because Zierlein and the Rams, Legatron, like he's automatic, like it's
Greg the leg. Yeah,
it's absolutely insane the rise and fall.
I know. It happens with Dallas kickers. I don't get it. Like Dan Bailey was unbelievable. 1 year stinks, gone. Greg the leg now stinks. Like, catch a break here. Finally have like a solid squad, and our kicker stinks. It just sucks. Hey.
I said we have a fan in here that's gonna be like, no, our kicker stinks. two posts Braden over there with Chicago. I think that's
they got a lot of other things that stink over there too. That Cooper Kupp touchdown was literally a joke, and I'm sure Braden will agree. I've never seen. I can't recall
2 missed tackles and
not wide open and scored a touchdown.
Yeah, he could have crawled to the touchdown zone.
Yeah, and speaking of the Bears, man, it might be time just to say.
It has to be, man. Like, Dalton stunk.
Just to say, like, think about it. It's the kid's first time in the end zone in an NFL professional game. Handled like a complete pro touchdown. Like, right then, it's like.
Dalton's passer rating was 72. They're complaining about Trubisky. His was like 87 last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I'm taking Mitch over Dalton any day of the week at this point.
I think this is honestly a pace move. He's like, you got to play him week 1 at least because we signed him. Now, if I'm nagging him, but like I'm playing Fields. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't care that you signed him. I'm not playing him. He stinks.
Yeah. Like, especially if you like, especially if it's for your job too. Like, this is my job.
Yeah.
The one
I need to win games.
Dalton is he played the Rams. I mean, the Rams. If the Rams made it to the Super Bowl this year for the NFC, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So I mean, they are a good team.
But did you see some of the throws from Dalton? It was pretty hilarious.
Oh yeah, he was bad. But I mean, they got the Bengals this week. I probably would start Dalton if I was Nagy, and if he can't lead you down the field on the first drive, Fields is coming in. Like,
at least give him a half or something.
The first drive.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, if he can't at least get us a field goal, I'm probably putting him in and being straight up with him too. Like, you got a short leash, man. Like, come on.
Listen, man, I didn't sign you. I think you stink. You're sitting. Okay, get on the bench.
And like Braden said, man, Dalton it's a revenge game. So
I guess
it's a revenge game. He literally has to start.
Fair.
If he can't lead them down the field in a revenge game against the team he started for 10 years, Fields has got to go in.
Oh yeah, I just straight up cut him. Yeah, we're in the game. Get your shit off.
The same guy.
There's an Uber XL out there for you. Bags already packed, lockers cleaned out.
Foles is already getting dressed, so Foles is being our backup now.
No, it's crazy though, but it's a good problem to have if I'm Braden and the Bears, like, and potentially your next franchise quarterback for the next decade. They're waiting just to have his time shine, and he showed glimpses of it because I think like the biggest thing they want to do like a Alex Smith type deal, but people got to realize Andy Dalton's not Alex Smith by any stretch of the means. You know what I mean? So to me, I just think that the kid showed that he had poise. The game was slow for him. So, it's not something like he can't handle, right? Because the biggest, like Mike, you would know, is all the times you have a quarterback come from Ohio State. Yeah. They can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying this whole time. Like, this guy's different than anyone I've watched.
And he has 4.4 speed.
Yeah.
Like, if he does get any pressure, he'd be able to at least get you a yard, 2, maybe even pick up the first down if a play breaks down. So, it's
a completely different offense when he's in there.
Because if you look at it, then you have to have linebackers playing a spy on them. You know what I mean? Then that frees up guys like Allen Robinson, because Allen Robinson was getting doubled every single play. Sometimes it was cheating on Montgomery, right? So if you have a quarterback now that's a little bit mobile that can still deliver strikes, it makes defenses play a little bit more honest, right? Because
you might see Mooney be a little more valuable too.
Mm-hmm. Because Mooney showed really good glimpses and he has some speed on him too. So
yeah.
But his defense needs to be.
Well, the other guy too, like Kmet. Like Kmet seems like he could be a pretty good tight end. It's just he needs a quarterback to actually help him.
Yeah. But in all honesty, though, against the number one, basically the quote unquote number one defense in the league, man, I think Chicago did look pretty decent. David Montgomery is for real.
Honestly, like management would never want to do this, but from a fan standpoint, if I'm the Bears, I'd want them to just kind of tank and just get a really good pick and start Fields next year. Just run Dalton out the whole year. But management's not going to want to do that because their jobs are on the line.
Yeah.
But it might benefit them because I don't think they're a playoff team. So do you want to go 500 and have a middle of the pack pick, or do you want to just pick top 10, top 5, get a really solid player, and then go from there? It's tough though.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm looking at the stats here. Dalton went 27 for 38, 206. 206 is a pretty low number for 27 completions, but at least he's accurate. He had the one pick.
How many is that in the fourth though? When is this garbage time where they're playing this zone coverage and these just don't?
Oh, I can't see that. I don't know those stats.
Yeah, they might have to be like PFF because I think a lot of it was the fourth. A lot of those yards was fourth quarter. They just play like a cover 3 zone, and all of a sudden he's just shooting it down the middle where they're just because they're protecting the edges.
Well, I mean
that's like averaging like 8 yards a pass.
To have that low of numbers and Montgomery to have 106 yards, so your rushing game is flying, and you still can't get the ball down the field. Guys are stacking the box a little bit if Montgomery's flying off on you.
Yeah,
and Dalton's not great, but I don't think Nagy gets enough flack for.
His play calling's hilarious.
Why? You know what I mean? You don't get first. Oh yeah.
So even if you do you don't have a first round this year. Yikes!
They
traded for Fields, right?
That's right. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Well,
that's 100%.
But you'll get a really good second round pick, unless that one's gone too.
So I don't want that unless we trade Mac to the Raiders. Yeah, we could be top of the board day 2.
That was a serious thing. The Raiders checked in on Mac in the offseason to see if he was available for trade. Yeah, to get him back.
Recoup anything that you lost. Whew.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Braden, if you know what did who did you guys lose or potentially lose for that Mac trade? Because was it Clean and Farrell they drafted for him, and then probably someone else?
Josh Jacobs too, wasn't it?
It wasn't the 4th overall pick, was it? I think that was the Raiders pick, wasn't it?
It was Josh Jacobs, I think.
Jacobs, I think that was a Cooper pick, wasn't it?
Ooh, maybe.
So I'm really interested to see who they potentially could have lost.
Arnett, maybe.
Abraham, maybe too.
Yeah, Arnett. Yeah.
But again, they're the Raiders are like comedians when it comes to drafting, so I wouldn't even take the actual pick for itself, but just who was on the table then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's easier to look in hindsight, I guess, but
yeah. Is this crazy, man? Khalil Mack, man, he's fallen from grace too. Going from one of the most dominating linebackers, Hall of Fame potential, to really just being a really good linebacker.
I think it's more the scheme that the Bears play on defense that isn't really suited for him. At the Raiders, he was flying off the edge every play, but the Bears don't let him do that every play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have him just edge rusher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want him playing linebacker. I want him playing end, rushing the passer. He's dominant.
Who's Khalil Mack going to cover if he has to? You don't want that. You just want him on the edge.
You see him drop back a little bit every once in a while, and it's just let him go. Let him rush.
That's not what he does.
Deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you drafted Roquan.
They traded the house for him, and they got him covering sometimes. It's what are you doing?
Who is this guy covering? He's not very quick.
the coverage linebacker. That's a Hall of Fame pass rusher. I think that makes 2 and 2 sense. I think of a pass rushers too. Oh my God. What about Chandler Jones? 5 sacks in the first quarter. Holy no, sorry, 3 sacks in the first quarter and then end up with 5 in total. On pace for 70 sacks this year. And again, we said this, and I wish if anybody's watching this, clip it or whatever. What we were saying, how Chandler Jones is the most underrated. I think it was our first or second episode. He is the most underrated pass rusher of all time, in my opinion. Does not get the roses he deserves at all. Like it's ridiculous. Like if it was on anybody, say for instance it was, I don't know. Let's just say if it was Micah Parsons, for instance, man, this guy would be on every single sports center. He probably have already Frosted Flakes commercials, man. Like,
I think
it's just crazy.
With the fact the teams he's played on. If he played on the Cowboys and he was this good, everyone would know who he is, kind of deal. You know what I mean?
I mean, he was on the Pats, right?
He was on the Patriots.
He's on the Patriots. Yeah, that's what I mean.
But
like,
I think it's because his
Warrior.
Yeah, I think it's because his massive years were on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Where no one really talks about them that much.
And they were picked, they picked first overall, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Like, I mean, they're not a good team. They're better now, but, you know, once he hit his prime, they were among the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah. And then Brandon said it was Jacobs and Arnett, basically, from back.
Whatever, then.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. And then the one team we haven't talked about yet that I can't wait to hear his opinion on, though, is the Miami Dolphins. Joel, man, what do you think? Tua, Gesicki screwed me, but Jalen Waddle showed that he has that speed still. The injury's not really too much lingering. He got himself a touchdown. But, man, what did you think about your boys coming out?
The boys look good. Touchdown first drive. Looked good. Tua looked all right. Nothing special, it's just getting the job done. Jalen Waddle looked unreal. Some of the speed that he possesses just right off the hop is just insane. If you look at his touchdown, he's out playing wide receiver 2, comes on the outside, comes in, fakes back out, catches the ball, beats the guy just to touch the inside of the pylon. It's just ridiculous stuff you've seen at Alabama. I'm glad looked like they were keeping it fairly simple for him. They only gave him 8 targets. He caught 6. I think it was 6 anyway, 6 for 61 in a TD. But, Dolphins, still same old Dolphins, can't stop the run. It's their biggest problem. Offensive line looked okay, nothing special. Had spurts where it was okay, gave Tua a pocket, but no Austin Jackson. He had COVID. He was active for the game, but he didn't. I don't think he got very many snaps. I don't think he got any snaps, to be honest. So, we'll see. Myles Gaskin couldn't get going.
I'll say, you guys couldn't get Myles Gaskin going.
No, couldn't get it going. Patriots got a pretty decent D-line. Like, they look pretty active, pretty hungry. Once the Patriots get Stephon Gilmore back, I think it's week 7 or something, him and Jackson and back there with Patty Mills. That's not bad secondary. Mm-hmm. McCourty's still there. So I think the Patriots will be all right, but a lot, it's perfect because the Bills lost, the Jets lost, we beat the Patriots. Dolphins are at the top of the division. We play Bills this weekend in Miami, so we'll see what happens there. If the Dolphins can beat the Bills and go 2-0 and the Bills go 0-2, who would have predicted that? Not I, I'll tell you that much.
Dude, Josh Allen looked bad this weekend.
He's one of those guys where last year he really surprised me because I've been watching him ever since he got drafted, obviously, because Dolphins play the Bills and you always keep tabs on teams in your division. And the first year or two, I never seen anything like he did last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just came out of absolutely nowhere.
It just seemed like he reverted back to his inaccurate ways. Like some of his throws, I'm like, what is going on here? And his scrambling looked awful. Like it looked like he didn't know what was going on. It was weird.
Daniel Jones.
It could have been just the week 1 jitters, but
yeah, maybe
to lose at home against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
A team that's been completely revamped. is it's insane to me. Like that I couldn't believe it. I thought that was one of more with Big Ben getting older and stuff like that. I know he's going to start fresh off the start, and then he'll slowly wean out to the old Roethlisberger that we know. But I couldn't believe it. But Josh Allen, back to Josh Allen quickly. I never seen him do what he did last year. I don't know if he's going to do it again this year. I don't know. I see it's just week one, obviously, but I seen he put a couple in the dirt to Diggs that were just he was like wide open, had like 2-3 yards of separation, and the ball just never got there. And he's known for having a strong arm, so I don't know.
Diggs having flashbacks to Cousins.
Oh geez,
just pissed.
Oh geez.
Well, the Finns, that should be a decent game week too, though. The Finns get Will Fuller back too.
Yeah, I was about to say they get Will Fuller back.
Yeah,
he can run any route. He showed that last year, so that'll definitely help the offense.
Yeah, take the top off too.
So now this week we're fully healthy on the line and wide receiver. So we'll have Austin Jackson back at left tackle. We get Waddle in the slot, Gesicki playing tight end, Parker on one side, Fuller on the other, and Preston Williams will be healthy coming off the bench with Albert Wilson, Jakeem Grant. So the Dolphins are pretty stacked at wide receiver.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm actually surprised that the Ravens didn't call the Dolphins in the offseason because they have so many wide receivers. Dolphins have like 6 starting wide receivers that could start.
I wanted us to. I'm pretty sure the Broncos put a second round tender on Tim Patrick, and I wanted us to get Tim Patrick, but they weren't interested.
Not anymore.
Yeah. And he's kind of needed now.
Yeah, you're kind of needed now. No, but and speaking of that, man, it's with the New England, man, the rookie quarterbacks. I gotta say, man, I'm almost eating my shoe, man. Mac Jones, I think, is for real, bro. Like, I really think this kid, man, is for real. Like, of course, it's always like the perfect player lands in the perfect spot with the system, but he literally fits Belichick's system so damn well. T-Law looked great, made some really boneheaded decisions, which I was really quite surprised with. I think 2 of those picks were like, bro, like, what are you even thinking about it? Trey Lance looked good. Of course, we had Justin Fields looking amazing, and then Zach Wilson showed he had flashes of Aaron Rodgers-esque. Off the roll, off the scramble, delivering strikes, kind of like a Russell Wilson. But what do you guys think about all of them? Yeah.
His touchdown to Corey Davis was honestly really nice. He rolled out and absolutely.
The rollout one?
I mean, to be fair, Davis was pretty wide open, so it's kind of not quite as impressive as it could have been. But he showed some really good arm strength and awareness to even get out of the pocket. And again, he was kind of wide open, but still it was a great throw.
Yeah, Wilson's first half was flashes of, I'm playing for the Jets. That's right. Kind of stunk the first half.
And they lost Mekhi Becton too, I believe. So that's definitely not probably their best player on their team. So that's not what you want. He's their starting left tackle. So.
Yeah, he's an absolute monster.
I was pretty underwhelmed by Trevor Lawrence, to be honest. I know he threw for like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but it's one game. But I mean, you gotta remember they played the Texans. The Texans are terrible. You wouldn't have known
they got murdered.
That they played, but that roster is bad.
Those running backs and Texans, those was running. Hey, David Johnson, Ingram, and Philip Lindsay all scoring.
Yeah, one of 7 of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I just expected him to play a little bit better. I was just not saying he played bad, but I was just a little underwhelmed.
For a generational talent that's supposed to be the next coming, like an Andrew Luck type of thing.
Yeah, well, especially 3 picks in one game. Like, I don't know if he ever did that in college. If he did, not very many.
Fun stat for you guys, a fun fact. This was Trevor Lawrence's first ever regular season loss in his playing career.
Yeah.
He never lost a regular season game in I think it was middle school, high school, and college.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I knew that.
He better get used to losing.
Well, no, he did lose in college. He lost to Ohio State.
In the playoffs.
Oh, like regular season games. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he never lost a regular season game in his playing career.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, just going regular season. I'm no one going to win. All right, cool.
Well, get used to 14 of them this year. So
Cool.
Oh.
We'll see how he plays against Denver.
Many more to come.
He
yeah,
plays Denver this week, right? That's a legit
Mhm.
B. We'll see. I don't know if he's throwing 3 picks against the Texans. I don't know.
I don't know if he's just maybe he was trying to do too much or something instead of simplifying.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, probably
Probably
thinking
Worst footballs.
you probably thought it was a little easier than it was.
Probably.
Well, when you're going up against the Jags defense in practice, you can look like a superstar.
Yeah, yeah. Team wanting to trade in camp. They're wanting to trade one of their best corners. Okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
The game plan was a little weird too. I mean, I think Lawrence threw it like 50 times, which is like first ever game through 50.
Yeah,
times.
like, I don't know. Like Urban Meyer's got to figure out the NFL. He hasn't coached in the NFL.
James Robinson is a good running back. Like, let's give him some carries against this team that cannot stop the run. Even if we're down 2 or 3 scores, it doesn't matter because they can't stop the run anyway. And they've proved it.
Yeah, I was playing against James Robinson in fantasy this week, and he had like 4 points going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he didn't even touch the ball.
Yeah,
Here, I wanted to see.
Marvin Jones did good actually.
I love Marvin Jones, man. I got him in one league. It's such value for how late he was going. He was going like a 100th overall or something.
Yeah, I played him in one league, and he got me like 14 points.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence threw 51 times. That's crazy.
Yeah, first ever game. 51 times.
Just burning out the shoulder against the Texans. Cool.
They have a good
but yeah.
Jay Chark, Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault, Robinson. Like, they're going to put up some points. So.
Oh, yeah, they have enough weapons.
But they just can't prevent the scoring. Is going to be the problem. It's going to be the big problem. But saying that, man, speaking of fantasy, man, let's go around the table. How did everybody do this week? Week 1. Cody, I know you're in like 7 of them.
Dude.
I know. That's why I brought it up.
And you lost to me.
Yeah. What, an NFL? I can't log into that league.
Oh yeah, I won by a little bit. Stuart Kittle beat him.
Yeah,
Stuart Kittle, nice. Stuart little pun, love it.
I'm pretty happy with my fantasy teams. I don't know. I had a lot of guys that played well this week that just didn't score touchdowns, so that kind of hurts. I mean,
dude, I was completely pissed in our draft when your team was auto drafted, and like you're getting all these players that should not be there. Like, what the hell is? He gets Kamara at 4. I'm like, what the hell is everyone else doing?
Wait,
like,
how?
And then you got Diggs in the second round. I'm like, this is fun. Guy auto drafts better than half the league. It's ridiculous.
Wait, how does that work when Kamara goes 4th?
Oh, it went CMC,
Cook,
Henry. I wouldn't have taken Cook too.
Yeah,
I wouldn't either, but a lot of people
I would have argued Henry over Kamara.
I'd probably go Henry over Cook, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Cook should have went 4th probably.
Speaking of Henry, you guys see Henry? What do you run for? 10 yards this week?
I saw at one point he had 9 rushes for 8 yards. So
yeah,
the Cardinals absolute shit on the Titans. Let's see.
Yeah, there were so many games this week where the game plan just like was.
I
so
feel for
weird.
people in pick'em pools, man. Like, my God, some people would be out week 1.
Oh yeah, like see ya.
Like,
yeah, people a lot of people would have taken Ravens. Gone.
Oh yeah, the Titans completely live and die off the play action. They weren't even using the play action that game. Like it was Tannehill was bad. The line, Chandler Jones absolutely killing them off the edge.
The one thing that is bad about Henry is he expects to break tackles, and when he doesn't know what to do. Like, instead of like shedding tackles, like if he's wrapped up, he's like screwed. Where like he expects guys to bounce off him. It's like you got to run through stuff too sometimes, man.
That's why I love Nick Chubb, man. Nick Chubb is a bull. Like, he just keeps, like, his legs just keeps on going until the ref blows the whistle, man. That guy is a monster.
I just wish he caught the ball more.
Yeah. That's when Kareem Hunt comes in and takes that spot. But
Yeah,
The
it's
one
safe to
thing I
say who the better running back from Georgia was that year. Sony Michel or Nick Chubb?
Sony Michel. Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys looking at
Sony Michel was traded and got what, 2 carries?
Yeah, well, he's only valuable because he's looking at the 50-yard line and the touchdown zone at the same time. That's just mean.
I'd say, Baga, how'd you do in your fantasy league?
Not good. I lost both. I'm in 2 leagues. I lost both. I have Rodgers at quarterback in one, and I have Devontae Adams and Mike Gesicki and Najee Harris in both too. So it's just a tough week.
Yeah, that's a tough week. That's a tough bounce back week.
It'll be better this week. Got some nice matchups. Najee just couldn't get going against Buffalo at all. I didn't expect him to really, but you're not going to sit him either.
You just never know.
Yeah,
he plays the Raiders this week, so he should get some scores.
Well, yeah.
Because Tyson Williams looked really good against the Raiders. Najee Harris should look really good too.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and Mike Gesicki and Najee Harris, and I started Cortland Sutton, and God, what a rough week.
Green Bay plays the Lions, you said?
Yeah, Lions.
On Monday night, yeah.
The Lions looked good the second half, man. Like
what did I tell you guys, man? They got a coach that will not let them stop. Like they're gonna keep fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, and they're gonna beat some teams that are better than them. But
talk about pick 'em leagues, man. Imagine that would have happened. Talking about a lot of people just freaking
Dan Campbell is one of those motivating type coaches, one of those player types, says goofy fucking shit that no coach should really be saying. Like
it's a weird thing.
Some of the sayings he had in the offseason were just absolutely barbaric, like ridiculous stuff.
What he said he drinks in the morning is absolutely disgusting. There's like 2 extra large like coffees with double espresso shots and other stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like they said the one guy on the stage tried to drink it. He had to go to the hospital because he was having like heart conditions. Like that's just not normal, man. You can't be doing that every morning.
It's got a Red Bull in there too.
Yeah.
Guys, it's an absolute
why.
Freak. But yeah, I'm with Joel on that, man. The Lions might shock some people, man. They might end up going plus 500, man, this year.
I don't know. Their defense kind of sucks, though.
Okuda's out for the year too now.
Yeah, again.
The defense definitely sucks, but I'm just saying, like the offense is good enough that it can put up points against some of the average tier teams in the league, and they will beat some teams by outscoring them. I truly do believe that.
See, the problem with them though is I trust Stafford with like when they're down more than I trust Goff when they're down, and that's what might kill them a bit.
Well, Detroit's got a really good line, and if you look statistically, Jared Goff was one of the best quarterbacks when he had time, when he had 3 seconds to make a decision, to go through his first and second reads at least. He was one of the top, like we'll say 8 to 10 quarterbacks. I remember seeing the list. But when he has no pressure, when he has pressure in his face constantly, he is terrible, which is what you saw at the Rams a lot. Miami beat them up bad last year. A few teams beat them up bad, which they barely squeaked into the playoffs, did they not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
This is a team that barely squeaked into the playoffs last year, and now you get Matt Stafford, and now people are saying, "Oh, I wouldn't be surprised to see them win the NFC."
Yeah. Matt Stafford, Matt's my boy. Man, I'm so happy.
Some of those throws, like that one to Cup, obviously he was wide open, but that was an absolute bomb, and then he threw another bomb too, I think. But Stafford,
it's to Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson, yeah, he had that 60.
The first play of the game. Play action, Van Jefferson, slinga.
Yeah, I really wanted Cup this year. Like in fantasy, I really wanted Cup in both leagues. I got him in none.
See, I thought that Robert Woods would be more, because Robert Woods more that speedster to get to take the top off for him.
He will too, though. He'll get some good fantasy games.
He had a touchdown.
Yeah.
just not a lot of yards. I think it was like 4 for 50 or something in a touchdown.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
It's not bad though. Still,
That's still a good day.
yeah.
I think Cup's the same play style as a guy. The reason I was so high on Cooper Kupp this year was because he really reminds me of Golden Tate, which was really Stafford's probably best ever wide receiver other than Megatron. Like, that was his guy other than Megatron. And he just, I don't know, just something about Kupp this year. I think he's going to have a huge season. He's in for some positive touchdown regression too, because he can never seem to get in the end zone. He's already done it once this year. Granted, it was on a completely broken play, but I think he's going to have a big season.
Let's see if he can stay healthy first.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the only thing is he tweaks his knee at least once a year. So see if he can just stay off that injury.
I did like about this week though, there was so many like surprising play. Like Tyrod Taylor looked amazing, although the Jags were they're a terrible team, but he looked so good. Same with Hurts. I did not expect Hurts to be play as well as he did. He was absolutely ripping it all game.
Phenomenal.
So,
Don't like that.
Yeah,
that might make that division more interesting than other people may have thought. Doubtfully, but
if he does it consistently, it'll be concerning. But
yeah,
I don't know. The Eagles are kind of tough. The Giants absolutely stink. Holy crap!
Their offensive line is the worst in the NFL.
Oh, it's just dog shit,
dude.
By a country mile. It's
Vaughn
pathetic.
And then they're now paying a wide receiver $20 million. Perfect.
Who can't stay healthy either.
Yeah.
And Washington lost too. They lost to the Chargers. So.
And they lost Fitzpatrick for the year. It looks like so.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
8 weeks. I think I seen. I could be wrong though.
They got to be calling because
Cam.
They can't do Heineke for 8 weeks.
I am calling Cam.
You just can't.
Heineke's a pretty solid backup though. Like he's actually not bad.
But if you want to win the division, he can't be your quarterback.
Yeah, no, but I don't think Cam can win the division on any team either.
No, I gotta know if there's anyone out there. Like
I think Cam could be on the Chiefs.
Yeah,
it wouldn't happen. He wouldn't win that division.
I don't even know who would be out there for the Redskins, but you just can't really trust
Jeff Driscoll from us. I don't even know. I mean, he might have got picked up.
Whoa.
Who else would be on there?
Why not call
RG3
about freaking Drew Lock, dude? Sitting on the bench, see if you can get a pick.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they want to give up on him, but
you're gonna be giving a king's ransom for him.
For Drew Lock.
Yeah, they don't want to get rid of Drew Lock, man. Trust me, they don't want
to be a backup either.
Unless it's for like Deshaun Watson or something like that, they don't want to get rid of him. I don't understand it though. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for them to do that in negotiations when they're playing Teddy.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to trade him. Well, clearly you don't really want him because he's not starting.
Yeah, like if I'm Drew Lock, I want out of Denver.
Yeah.
You go to Washington?
Like right now.
Yeah, I don't really know who else they can get.
That was the only person that came to mind. It's not because I don't really like him. It's just literally I couldn't think of anyone other than him.
Call up for Andy Dalton.
Nick Foles is available.
Nick Foles is available. That is true.
Nick Foles is always available. The guy's the guy's 7'11", man.
You know what would have been the perfect landing spot if he was still there, if Gardner Minshew was still there in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That would have been the perfect. That would have been the perfect player.
He went to the Eagles, right?
Yeah, they got Minshew and Hurts. Oh boy.
Yeah.
When Hurts got drafted, I got a couple buddies in another league that are Eagles fans, and when Hurts got drafted, I was like, dude, I've seen him at Bama a bunch. This dude is gonna be a stud in the NFL. And I actually screenshotted it today, and I was like, this guy's gonna be a better armed Lamar Jackson. I said that when he got drafted. Obviously, it's early, and last year he stunk, but this first game this year, wow, dude.
You could just tell by his ethic, man. Like even when he talks stuff like that, he just says every day he has gone like he's always saying I have to prove something. I always have to learn. It's like he's been saying that from Alabama too. So it's like, man, the guy has the right mindset to achieve anything really.
He's got Smith there now too, and I'm sure he played with Smith at Bama. I don't know how long he was there.
Yeah, they probably did because at one time they had Mac Jones, Tua, and Hurts, and they had the four receivers, right?
Yeah, and like Tua took over Hurts like 3 years ago
Yeah.
in that playoff game, and then Tua was the quarterback next year. That's when Hurts transferred.
Yeah.
2016 to 2018, and then
2018. I feel like he'd be on the team. Smith
Yeah.
yeah. So he was
Maybe-
he was there from 20,
might not have been
2017.
like a starter, but
Yeah, 2017 to 2020. So he was there.
Nice debut from all the top wide receivers. So rookies.
Jamar Chase. He
Yeah,
he
all
can
with
catch.
touchdown.
He can catch without the white spiral.
yeah,
Bro, he almost
that's
broke-
just a weird
he almost-
comment.
He almost broke a corner's ankles on a route, like completely dusted him. Burrow didn't throw the ball to him. I seen it on Instagram
Yeah.
today. Just toasted the dude. Did you guys see that?
Mm-mm.
No, but like I said, like him going to there is just gonna help because they're so comfortable together. Like that's his quarterback that he had when he had 20 touchdowns in the 1 year.
Yeah. So definitely helps. And then even guys like T. Higgins and like showed out that that's gonna be a
What?
sleeper offensive trio to watch out.
That's a really good receiver core.
Joe Mixon was tearing it up too.
Yeah, he's
So
good.
man,
He's
they
good.
have a sneaky
If
offense.
Mixon stays healthy, he's a really good running back. He's just always hurt too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this week they got Trevor Lawrence versus Burrow, so that'll be a good game.
Yeah.
No,
Oh no,
Trevor Lawrence faces us.
Oh yeah. Who do
Oh,
the
yeah, I
Bengals
mean,
play?
The Bears. They might see Justin Fields. Sorry, is what I was going to say.
Maybe a bit.
Against against Lawrence, that would be pretty interesting.
It should be Justin Fields. He gives the Bears the best chance to win.
Yeah. We'll see week 3 what they do, or
Yeah.
even in game if Dalton stinks.
For Bears fans, they have to wish that Dalton throws like 2 picks in the first
Yeah.
half. Like,
Well, it's pretty hilarious that an entire fan base is like, we don't even want this guy at our quarterback. Like,
mhm.
they're chanting Fields when he goes out on the
Dude,
field.
even Fields when he scored that touchdown, man, like the whole offensive line, like the whole team was like basically like cheering, like that's our quarterback, like
Yeah.
Terrell, that's
I mean,
my quarterback.
It kind of sucks for Dalton, but it's like whatever. They signed me, so I'm supposed to play.
Still getting paid,
Yeah.
so
I mean, there's no way when they signed Dalton, they were the 20th overall pick. Like, they're not thinking they're going
Oh yeah. Their draft plans was not Fields, but the fact
No.
that he was there, they're like, well, shit, let's just go get him.
yeah. And at that time, you have to do that.
Was a great trade. That's one of the few things.
Better than the Trubisky trade for moving up one spot. That is for damn sure.
Oh yeah, the trade was unreal.
Yeah, super great trade. So before we sign off, though, here, guys, let's go around and give our hot take for this upcoming week. And I'm going to say it first. We are going to hold Jacksonville to 3 points for the Broncos game, and we are going to score 24 points plus. So it's going to be 24 plus to 3.
I checked the over under on that game quick. What'd you say? 3? The over under for that game is 45.5. So maybe. What do we have to do? Like a hot take for our own team?
This is a hot – no, this or anything.
Huh.
My hot take is the Dolphins will beat the Bills at home this week.
Yeah.
It's extremely hot, I know.
Cody, you might have to go with your hot take that DJ Moore might have more fantasy points than Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
We'll see, dude. I think DJ is gonna have a huge season, dude. I
don't think so as
I need
much.
to get excited about Clyde because I don't think he's that good. Like,
I don't.
He's
pretty
good
good
last year.
I don't think he's terrible, but he doesn't touch the ball hardly. What do you have last year? 4 touchdowns. Although he had some bad luck, he got a lot called back last year. I remember he had a lot of touchdowns called back, but I don't know.
He played 13 games too. Like he missed 3,
Yeah.
and he ran for 800, which is pretty good for a rookie.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll watch that one as the year goes along, I guess. My hot take. I'm looking at the matchups.
All right, my hot take: the Bears are down at half. Fields comes in and brings them back to a win.
Wow.
Braden says, hot take, Joel.
Oh, 100%.
All right.
My other hot take is this guy right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Nope.
No.
No, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
He's
Lord.
looking absolutely homeless. But my hot take is this guy right here is gonna look. He looks wasted. This guy's gonna put up.
That guy is wasted.
This guy's gonna put up 400 yards against the Lions.
Ooh. For the bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just all right. I don't think this is gonna happen, but trying to make it fun and actually do as hot of a take as humanly possible. Because if it does, it will be hilarious. After watching Tyrod Taylor last game, I think he's gonna go against Cleveland, revenge game, and beat the Browns, and they're gonna go to 0-2. Actually, that's
just wishful thinking.
Whoa.
I just
Okay.
looked through the matchups and I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen. But Tyrod played so well. This is one of his old teams. I don't know. I'm going as hot as humanly possible. To the
I
point
feel
where
like
it's
I
not
have to
even
do another
realistic.
hot take. I feel like I have to do a hot take that doesn't involve my team now.
All right. Yeah. Giants beat Redskins.
Yeah.
Or football team.
The football team.
Heineke at quarterback. You never know. Maybe have a couple too many Heinekens before the game. You never know.
There you go.
Okay, here's my hot take. I'll go from it. We have New England versus the Jets, and I'm gonna have Mac Jones throwing for 300 yards with 2 touchdowns. And a dominating win against the Jets to show that he is for real.
That's not a hot take.
Yeah, it is. It's Mac Jones. Okay, 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Then there you go. My hot take. Mac Jones coming in showing.
Okay, he's gonna outperform the second overall pick.
Yeah, he's gonna outperform. He's gonna outperform Zach Wilson by a great margin. Let's just go with that one.
I fully agree. I would even put $100 on that.
I'm all aboard the Mac train, man. I'm actually hating myself now.
I don't like Mac Jones. There's something about him.
Like
I'm
I'm on the Mac Jones train.
I don't like the
right
cut
now.
of his jib.
Personally, he's a loser. But
Ever since he got drafted and that walk to the stage, he just pisses me off.
actually, I do have a good question for you boys. Do you think Deshaun Watson makes it back this season?
No, I think he sits out the whole year.
Absolutely
The Texans
not.
are totally down to just let him rot on the bench too. So I mean,
He literally says, "I do not want to play for this team anymore," and I don't think he cares about the money. He's also still fighting those legal battles.
Yeah.
There's breaking news too that I just saw here on Twitter. Flash is back, boys. He just got reinstated.
Is he like a free agent then, or?
He's at
I
Seattle.
don't know how that works.
Oh, they have his rights?
I think
They
Seattle
have his
has the rights.
Oh, okay. That'd be
Unless they released them that I don't remember or seen.
Hot take: Henry rushes for 200+ yards, 2 TDs, and beats the Hawks. Sorry, to go 1-1.
Well, they usually have a
200-yard rusher.
porous defense.
I can see it. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, he's going to have to. My God, did he not start well last game?
Oh, and there's another one too. Almost a Justin Fields take too. If Jimmy stinks it up, do they give the reins to Trey Lance too as well? Because he had a really good showing
I don't
too.
know. Like, Jimmy played pretty good. Like,
Jimmy's a good quarterback.
Yeah, he looks good.
He is a great quarterback. Yeah.
There's a guy. There's a guy for Washington. Try to get Jimmy G. If Jimmy G goes to Washington, I'm kind of scared for Dallas because that
if
Washington.
anything, the Niners probably want to do that and get rid of the contract.
Yeah,
And you could probably get. What do you think you get out of it?
A first.
at least
Yeah, probably.
maybe just a first because of the
That's
contract.
that's all I was saying. Could you
just the first because the contract's pretty deadly, but they only have Fitzmagic for 1 year. So
Yeah.
next year his contract's out the window and there's 10 million open. So
Well, that's the thing. When Fitzpatrick comes back, if something happens to Jimmy G, you still have Fitzpatrick.
Exactly. That's actually a good. That's a good landing spot.
There's other hot takes gonna happen next week. No, I'm just joking.
But that's kind of up to Shanahan, really, right? Like he could, like he's the one that kind of wanted Lance, so maybe he'll just be like, yeah, that's fine, trade him.
Imagine Jimmy G gets traded to the Giants. That could change a lot of things there too.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones has to go.
He stinks.
Terrible.
No good.
Yeah,
he's a turnover machine.
I'm gonna make one more hot take just because I don't think my other one's gonna happen.
Definitely not.
Well, that's why it's a hot take.
That's a hot take.
Matchups. I see that the Vikings play the Cardinals this week. Patrick Peterson pick 6 to win the game against his old team. That'll be my hot take.
Pick 6 to win the game.
Pick 6 to win the game.
Wow,
that would be rowdy
against his old team. Yeah, it would be rowdy. I was just looking at the old
on DeAndre Hopkins too. Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, on.
Will happen. Don't get me wrong.
You put $10 on that on ProLine, payouts like a milli.
Honestly, and another thing, I hope he's not on Hopkins. Hopkins would absolutely roast Pat Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm looking at the Browns are 12.5-point favorites over the Texans, which is insane. So yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, you can always hope.
Yeah, it would be nice 0-2 Browns, but yeah.
Man. Oof. Oh, that's something we didn't talk about too, man. How atrocious the Atlanta Falcons looked. Like, terrible.
I don't even want to talk about it.
That was, like, I almost had to bring out my Charles Barkley word. This is terrible, man. It's terrible.
It's not gonna get any better. They play the Bucs this week. They're gonna absolutely
go. My Kyle Pitts pick is like looking like wah wah wah.
They did.
I was the common thing was my projection. Looked at it, was like Kyle Pitts projected 4 points. I'm like, whatever, got me 5. I'm like, okay, never mind.
Okay, they're right.
What do I know?
With 5 points, he probably finished as a top 10 tight end, though.
Yeah.
There's only that's kind of a joke, but yeah, I mean, 5-6 good tight ends and for fantasy purposes, right? But
yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting week 2. Can't wait, man. Football's back and it's loaded in. We have football every freaking week until February, boys. Like, it feels good. Like, feels real good.
Finally.
But finally, right? Jeez. But I'm super pumped. Can't wait. Hopefully, again, win some more fantasy matches and then watch my Broncos go undefeated. Hot take. First 17-0 team. Watch out. No. But for everybody that's watching, we truly do appreciate you guys sticking around and kicking us with us for this hour and 20 minutes. It's crazy. Hour and 20 minutes. Shit goes by so damn fast. But yeah, drop down your hot takes in the comment section below. I see my boy Braden with the Derrick Henry, but if you guys want to give your hot takes too, we'll recap them when we come back on. But other than that, Mike, I forgot to say we got the segment, man. What are you drinking on tonight, my brother?
Bush lattes.
Oh,
come on.
You're not messing around with the craft beers ever since that one.
Yeah, I went south quick, so thought I'd rein it in a little bit.
Yeah. Just take it back to the per use before.
he keeps having nightmares about buses. Getting run over by buses.
School starts. Mike's just looking at all school buses. Oh,
get me out of here!
Get me out of here!
one
That's
last thing before we leave, everybody. Oh yeah, I guess we already did that. Kind of. I was gonna say predict if your teams win, but I guess we already pretty much did that.
Yeah, I don't even I hope Dallas wins, but the Chargers are a good team.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We play the Chiefs. Hope we win, but I mean, I cannot say we're going to.
All of us have tough matchups this week, except for AJ.
Yeah,
we got the Bills, got the Chargers.
To win. Oh,
actually, yeah, we're playing the best teams in the NFL. We got the Chiefs. You got the Chargers, definitely one of the best teams in the league now on paper, and then you got the
Buffalo.
And
AJ sitting over there AJ sitting over there against
a rookie quarterback with Von Miller and Bradley Chubb coming back.
All right, here's a hot take. All our teams win, Broncos lose.
Oh, that's a hot take.
There's your hot take.
That would be hilarious.
I will love it though because that means the Ravens beats the Chiefs. So
yeah,
true.
I'm all good with that. But man, Bradley Chubb and Von Miller coming for oh my lord. Trevor, it's gonna might have that welcome to the NFL, buddy.
Yeah, Bradley Chubb, get your plate stickers, all right?
Yeah.
This happening again.
Can't have you getting arrested. So ridiculous. But anyways, guys, that wraps up
a fork and knife.
Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Pigskin Panel. Again, we love every single one of you guys. If you did like this episode, definitely give us a big old thumbs up, subscribe, and always keep it real with us. Until next time, have yourself a wonderful one. Catch you next week or the week after, boys. Next week.
Every week.
Every week now. Football season's back. We're back every week. Let's go, baby. So we'll be back with the week 2 results, and we'll catch you then. Till next time, deuces, peeps. Ravens suck.
Ravens suck.
Okay. You did it.